Okay, welcome back to Shaw's Garage. It's been a little while since we did a video. For those of you that follow our channel for the racing stuff on the odd rod gasser, our season's pretty much over for 2022. Truck's over there covered up. It's not broke, it is functional. There are 2 races left in the Southeast Gasser Series for 2022. But we've elected just to go ahead and call it for the season. The motor that we built early in the year and had trouble with is almost ready, but we just decided it would be best not to push it and go ahead and get it finished up and dynoed and changed out in the off season. So that's kind of what we've decided to do. We've got some family issues too that are conflicting with a couple of the races, and we just decided it was time to just call it and enjoy watching the rest of the guys finish out the season. What we're getting ready to do in the next couple series of videos may or may not be interesting to those of you that follow the racing, but we're building another engine, but this is something different. This is a new engine we're building for our car hauler. Those of you that follow us or that have met us at the races know that we carry the odd rod on a 74 Ford F350 ramp bed truck. And it's powered by a 7.3 International diesel. And when we came back from the race in Indiana this year, it developed a noise that concerned me, and I still haven't really figured out what it is, but in the back of my mind, I've been wanting to build another engine for this thing and just, do it. I won't say do it right, but just at least attempt to do it right. And I will have laid eyes on everything inside the engine and kind of know what I've got. So we finally accumulated enough parts and a good donor engine, and we decided we would go ahead and build one in the off season and go ahead and get that swapped out. I don't think our other motor's terminal, so it's going to be a good usable spare. But we just decided we'd go ahead and do this. The truck's beginning to need a clutch and had a couple leaks, and it's just easier to pull the engine out to do all of that anyway. So the next few videos are going to be of us attempting to build this 7.3 International diesel. We've got the block prepped. We found a fairly low mileage 94 model block, and we had just a little bit of machine work done. It had to be decked a few thousandths to clean up the head surface, and we had to sleeve 1 cylinder. Everything else standard bore. It's only worn a couple thousandths. We had a professional hone done and washed and washed and washed and cleaned and washed. Diesels are the nastiest things on the planet. And so that's kind of our foundation. We also had to build this front cradle for the engine stand. This engine is supposedly weighs 1,200 pounds when everything is bolted on it, and there's no way I trust an engine stand with just the 4 back bolts with that kind of weight. So we did this, and it's real easy to crank and spin it. It's got a big bearing in that pivot point up front, and it's actually it's not really in the way. We can get everything on the front, water pump and everything on it. And the only thing we've got to do is once we get the crank in and get ready to put the camshaft in, we do take it off of the cradle temporarily, slide the cam in, and then from then on it will stay on there until the engine is complete. We are going to attempt to put this on our engine run stand. I say attempt, and pre-run it if we can. So hopefully we'll have some video of that. And got Mr. Ben just came in to help us, and Sadie the dog came in to check things out. Got a few things laid out over here. We've got our crank polished and ready to go. It's standard. We're reusing the camshaft. This of course is a roller lifter motor. We've still got lifters to clean up. We've got our pistons washed. We've still got just a little bit of cleaning on them and get the rings put on. We do have ARP head studs. We're going to head stud this motor this time because of the boost, and we've got a set of billet return rails from R&D IDI, which will take care of the leaky return rails. I know there's probably a few guys that are going to be following this channel that are actually into these IDIs. The IDI is the 7.3, the first generation 7.3 International diesel. So if you hear me refer to IDI, that's what we're talking about. Anyway, there'll be a few guys following for that, so they kind of know what's going on here. And of course, we've got a gasket kit here. This is a gasket kit for one of these motors. It's what they refer to as Ford diesel gray silicone, and basically you put it together with that and the head gaskets and valley pan gasket, and that's about it. And you use that stuff for everything, and it's great. So anyway, that's where we're at. We're about ready to start setting the crank in and double checking bearing clearances. I don't really expect anything as far, because this was a running motor. We're reusing main bearings. They were so nice in this thing. Somebody had been into it before. Pistons had been replaced, and everything looked really good. It was just dirty and had been sitting for a long time. So we did do screw-in core plugs on the block. There's 3 plugs on this side, 2 on the other side, and then you have the block heater, which we've already installed. And then there was 2 core plugs in the back. There's one of them. Those are the ones that were most concerning to me, because if one of those fails, it's between the engine and transmission, and that's the kind of thing that can leave you on the side of the road. So we decided to go ahead and these blocks had Welch plugs instead of regular freeze plugs, and I don't really trust myself with Welch plugs. I don't do enough of them to feel like I get them seated right, and so we cut the holes and got the taps and got some screw-in freeze plugs. Actually, Boss 302 Ford stuff fits it. You just have to tap the block, and buddy, it's a job. I don't ever want to do another one, but we did get that done. So hopefully there'll be no chance of blowing a core plug out anyway, and hopefully no leaks. So anyway, that's where we're at right now, and I'll continue the video as we do the assembly. Okay, we got the crank in and the mains torqued, and everything feels good. We plastic gauged the bearings, and we were pretty much right in the middle of the spec. And one thing I didn't mention earlier, if you look down in there, that little piece is a piston oil squirter. You want to make sure you don't forget to put those things in. You will have no oil pressure, and your day will be ruined. So they need to go in first thing, and they go in with it's just a quarter 20 bolt, but they need to be Loctited in, and I think the torque on them is 12 foot-pounds. So anyway, very, very important. So we're going to go ahead and next and slip the cam in. So we've got to take this brace off real quick to do that, and then put it back on, and then it'll stay on for the duration of the build. Okay, we've got our cam in, and got it timed to the crank. And then this top mark will align to the injector pump gear. And then below that, the oil pump, which is not timed, will run on that gear. So anyway, we're gonna call it for this video, and button this up, and then go back to cleaning parts as we have time in the next couple of days, and start putting pistons in next.